Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty, the Crappy Crafter. Today we're going to do something we haven't done in a very long time. At least a year and a half, 2 years. I don't even know. Remember this? In here, there is a ducky. Hi, Abby Cat. Come on up. Hi. Oh. 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 Oh, she's getting that licking good. Yeah, here's Abby Cat. I love my girl. Anyways, so here, come sit on my lap. Oh, yes. Anyways, back to where I was, because I'm not going to edit that out. I'm not going to put that at the end or anything. We're just going to make a ducky today. It's going to be a short video because I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to mix some resin. I'm going to pour it in here. And then I'm going to try to do the Petri method. Yeah, so we'll see if that works. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's get right into it. So, the first thing I have to do is clean the mold because I had an Abby cat and she touched it and now she's all covered in cat hair because Silicone loves some cat hair. Whew. And I worked so hard to make sure that no dust or hair would get inside the mold, but cat. Okay, so 2-part epoxy resin. You gotta stir it. You gotta mix it. You gotta scrape. Scrape that booty. Scrape that booty. That's my new thing. That's gonna be my new thing because you have to scrape the sides and the bottom for a minimum of 3 minutes. Minimum. I'm gonna put it into the vacuum chamber, which will take out like, I don't know, like 90% of the bubbles, but we'll see at the end that it doesn't quite work the way I want it to. And that's okay, because, you know, it's good enough. It's not like these are show pieces or anything. I'm not selling them. I'm not giving them away. These are just for me trying to do what, you know, I can't do. I just can't make a large Petri project work. And you know, spoiler, yeah. So I leave a bit at the bottom because I wanted to have a black base. This is something that I decided on while I was doing it. I was just going to leave it all clear. I have a Petri bottom, but then I was like, you know what? Every time I try to do the stupid Petri thing, it always ends up like ruining the bottom, and there's like a metric ton of ink that hasn't, you know, dissolved in or whatever it does. And I will see these are all Let's Resin. Everything is Let's Resin except for the blue. And I can't believe that the blue is the only thing that made it all fail. You gotta make sure that your white sinker is well mixed because it is very heavy, it is very pigmented, and the pigment will settle out. As far as I can tell, it's the pigment that makes everything sink. I have no idea. I really don't know. But I'm going to speed this up. These little bottles are so hard to squeeze. It doesn't make anything easier. I have middle-aged woman hands, and they don't like squeezing these bottles. But it's okay because, well, it's just a thing. I just need stronger hands, I guess. But look at it. Look at how it goes. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloopy, 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 bloop. I love it. It's fun. Shoop. Now, one would think that with the way that it looks like it's sinking, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Watch. This is about where the head is, I figure. But watch. It's gonna go, and it's gonna go. And it looks like a really cool agate from this side, and I probably should have left it. The bottom is so pretty, but it's just not gonna work. But now it's time to make, oh, right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scuff up the bottom so that the black layer actually has something to stick to. So, yeah, scrape it up good. And then we'll clean it off with a little alcohol. I was just really excited that there wasn't a pool of ink on the bottom. I was really, really surprised. I think that means that I didn't use enough, but I don't know. I'm still not sure how to do the Petri thing. And here we go. We're gonna scrape, scrape, scrape. A scrape, scrape, scrape. A scrape that booty. A scrape that booty. Yeah. And we're gonna put it in the vacuum chamber again. So for the clear part of the ducky, I let it sit overnight. It's not been 24 hours. It's been like, I don't know, 15 hours probably. And that'll help it bond as well. But with the black I'm going to cook it because golly gosh darn it, I don't want to wait another 24 hours to have to take it out. So I'm going to cook it in the cooker, in the big tumbler cooker. Even though it would have fit in one of my other ones, but, you know, that's okay. I like the big tumbler cooker. It seems to work really, really well. It's so nice and warm. I didn't want to take my hands off of it. Not that it's been terribly cold this year. I mean, it's Tuesday, the 19th of November, and it's 50 degrees outside in Vermont. 50 degrees in Vermont in November. I'm like, what? So, yeah, see, it just... It didn't work. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. But it's okay. It's okay. And see all the little bubbles? We'll get some light in here. Look at all the bubbles. Yeah, the degassing vacuum chamber worked pretty well, I guess. But there's still so many bubbles in there. So many. And that's okay. Well, that didn't work at all, did it? Off camera, I put a top coat of UV resin on it because I've technically done this outro once already and I did not like it, so I'm doing it again. I may put snippets of the first one in there, but I don't really see why. So, here's Ducky with a fresh coat of UV resin so you can actually see what's going on inside because he was a little textured so you couldn't really see, but as you can see, it didn't do what I wanted. Someday I'll figure out how to do this. Today was obviously not that day. And that's okay. We all fail together. So, yeah, that's what he looks like. All his horrible little bubbles. Awful little bubbles. Keeps trying to focus on my face. I don't want him to. Look at that butt. You see straight through to his head. But yeah, so that didn't work the way I wanted it to. And you know what? That is quite alright. Not everything works. Not everything works the first time or the second time or the third time. I don't know how many times I've tried to do a Petri thing that it's just not worked ever. That's not true. I've gotten a couple of pendants to work, but I've never gotten any big projects to work. So, and when I say the pendants work, they kind of worked. Oh well. So, today was a fail, and that's okay, because that's just what happens in life. We fail, we succeed, we learn, we go on. So, yay! I guess that's it for this week. Until next week, stay safe.